Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm going to do an interior walkthrough of the 2023 Volvo V60 Cross Country. The V60 sees a few changes this year, mostly in its design outside, and also a brand new infotainment setup that I'll be showing you here, as well as just a few small details here and there that got changed in this refresh. This generation of the V60 came out in, I think, 2020. So this 2023 sees a couple of changes. I will say that this is one of the most pleasant vehicles I've driven this year. It is so just comfortable and simple, and yeah, nothing in this is in your face. So well done there. Let's just get started. We'll start in the usual spot over on the door, and I'll just walk around the interior from the driver's seat perspective. Let's get going. So over here on the driver door, you're seeing window locks and child safety locks in one button. Then you have your windows here, and you have your side mirror adjustments right here. Up here you have your seat memory settings and your door locks, and then you can see it's a Bowers & Wilkins stereo in this particular one. Beautiful speakers. Over here you have the first of the vents. They're large and very adjustable. So I can move it up and down like this, back and forth like this, and then you can close it like that. So neat little setup. I really like these, and there's a couple of them in the front, plus whatever's on the side in the middle. I'll show you that. Right here, this just opens the rear hatch. That's it. Down there's the dead pedal, which is nicely placed for the driver, and then you have the other two pedals over there. New this year in this car is a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, which is a much better match to this than the I believe it was a naturally aspirated engine they had before. If I remember right, it was a 6. And that was a nice and smooth engine, but this is a much more kind of sprightly engine. But it's not in your face. It's not, this isn't a sports car or anything. If you want that, you have to go to the Polestar model of this car. So, but well done anyway. Now, looking at the steering wheel, it's very large in the middle, and you have your Volvo symbol here. Over here, you have some buttons for cruise control and stuff. So you turn it on there, you set it, and whatever right here. Here's your distance settings, so shorter and longer. And then these actually run the little driver information screen up in there. So there you go with that. Over here, this is mostly infotainment. So this goes through menus. This is the voice activation, which is pretty good in this. It's based on Google. I'll get into more of that in a minute. And then tracks, stations, etc., back and forth, up and down, and select right there. Now, some of the stuff that shows up in there is worked with this, but for the most part, this is for infotainment. On this dongle, you got your washer wipers. So you up and down for the front, and then focus, there you go. And then this button right here runs the rear, and then this is how aggressive you want it to be. It does have an automatic setting, and then pull it back and forth for the squirters. On this side, you have lighting. So you can see it's on auto right here. You can put it on auto high beams up there. And then you see this in the middle right here runs your fog lamps. And then I believe, I think that's it. Oh, and you reset your trip meter with a button over here. That's the other thing I was trying to remember what it was. So here's your instrument cluster. Nicely done. It's all virtual and always visible. There's no glare. So over here you have a speedometer. You have a standard one going up the side, and then you have the digital in the middle. Over here you have tachometer, and then your gearing and info and stuff. In the middle, of course, there's a giant map. Use the infotainment screen over there to change what's on here. There's also a head-up display on this particular model, which probably won't show up when I do this. You can see it blinking, I guess. I use that more than anything else. So I mean, this screen is great, especially the nav, but honestly, you don't need most of this info very often. Your fuel is way down there. I put a lot of miles in this car, by the way. And then over here, you have your trip and stuff. Pretty simple layout and adjustable. Now, moving along, here's another one of the vents. So it works like the other one did, except it's just tall and skinny. So, useful. Now, hi other camera. Now, let's talk about infotainment. This is sort of the main screen. When you push this button right here, you end up here. This is kind of like the app screen. If you push this button, it's technically the main screen right there, right? This button here. So, what you're looking at is a Google-based interface. So this is Google's Auto or Google's Car, something like that. Whatever they call it, their infotainment interface. This is what Volvo has moved to, and it's really, really simple. Basically, it works kind of like your phone. You have a lot of stuff that just kind of is there, and you figure out where to find it. So this is my phone connected right here. Here's the maps up here. Here's your infotainment, whatever you're doing, streaming or satellite like I am. Air quality is right here, and it pulls this info. The air quality in the car, it pulls it on its own. The outside air quality comes from, I believe, either Google Maps or the weather service. Down here you have some buttons that almost never change. This is your settings right here. This is sort of like the app menu button. I use this more often than that main screen, and I just flip through really quickly because everything you need is right in front of you. You got Apple CarPlay, Google Auto, of course. You have the Google Assistant, so you can basically push that and talk to it to ask for a few things. It's not terribly robust with that, but you can add more apps and a few other things as well. Owner's manual is right there as also. Now, for climate stuff, most of it you're going to be really quick with. You set the temperature back and forth right here. You set the seat heating and steering wheel heat right here. So if I push that, all of that comes up, and the cooling, by the way. And then on the other side, same difference. If you want the full climate menu, you just push in the middle, and here's the full climate menu. So I can do the defrost if I want. I've turned it off because so it's off down here because I don't want the fans blowing on the mic, but you can change your stuff here. You can unsync and have dual climate, all of that good stuff. So really well done on this. Very simple to use. Now, because it is required by law, down here you do have your hard buttons for your defrosts, as well as a pause button which pauses infotainment and resumes it. This is a volume dial, and then you have back and forth here for track selection. These over here, I think I mentioned the track selection. The up and down is actually volume. I don't think I mentioned that. And then you have your Dukes lights over here in case you get in a hazard. This is actually where it draws the air quality from right here. This is a dead button. So there you go. This is a good example of the wood inlay that's available in this car. This is beautiful stuff. Nice and tactile too. It feels like wood. You open that up, you have a little weird storage spot that you can throw keys or something, but really not much else right there. And then coming back here, you have your drink holders right here. They're pretty good size and useful. You have your 12 volt here. Another spot to just kind of throw some things. Yeah. That's about it. Your shifter is Volvo. They love this crystal. It's beautiful stuff. I have no idea what the company is called. It's somewhere in Sweden, though. Anyway, beautiful. And the shifting is pretty straightforward. You don't push any buttons or anything. You just push it forward to get reverse, pull it back to get drive, kind of tap it from either of those to end up in neutral, and you push this button to park. Back here you got a parking brake right here and a launch control. auto hill hold is what it really is. I like launch control though, it sounds way better. Here is your storage cubby in the middle, which I forgot it has a parking thing in there. But anyway, couple of USBs, an A and a C, as well as a, I don't know, half decent amount of space. There was another plug in here somewhere, and I don't remember where it is, but another USB. Oh, and this is the key reset in case you have to reset your key, the RFID and stuff. So looking at the interior, hi other camera again. Looking at the interior, you can see it's just nicely done, beautiful layout and coloring. I really like the way they did this. It's very, very nice. The back seats in this model are heated on the outboards. It's a pretty good sized back seat, not bad at all. I fit in there just fine despite the panoramic sunroof. I do not impede my head. And then the rear cargo area. This is a station wagon, which means you have tons of cargo back there. I'll show you a couple photos. You get an idea how big it is. Really well done. This car by default is all-wheel drive, I believe, and it's just pleasant all the way around. That's my word for this car. It's pleasant. Very, very nicely done. So there you go. That's the interior of the 2023 Volvo V60 Cross Country. I don't know why they still use the Cross Country, because they literally have no other models for this. There's the Sport Polestar one, and there's the Charged, I think is what they, or Recharged is what they call it. That's the plug-in hybrid. And then there's this. I don't know why they bother with a Cross Country anymore. Don't really need it. There is no regular V60 anymore. So anyway, there you go. This has been Aaron, 2023 Volvo V60. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.